Hey, we have 179 subscribers on the YouTube channel. Monetize.
That must be my phone telling me that the Making Geese podcast has gone live. Ha! It is. I'm going to turn that off.
Wait, I just realized something. Hold on.
For episode 191. 9
No.
more episodes away.
No. Hold on, give me a second. I need to log off and log back on.
Hey, Lego! Yes.
You like the stand-in image? Hey, what's up, Brent? How's it going, buddy?
Hey.
Yeah. Some guy made it for us. It's alright, I guess.
Some guy made it for us.
The theme that we're using. Some guy being Brent.
Okay. That's awesome.
He is kind of a jerk, though. That guy said he was going to get back to me on something, and he has yet to do that.
Did Sean leave? Sean left.
Yeah, he
and
said he
I
had
went.
to reboot. Yeah, it breaks the formatting when I have less people or more people.
And I went magenta and froze.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah.
Can you still hear me? You can still hear me, right?
I can still hear you. You've gone Barney on me.
I don't know any of the songs, otherwise I'd sing it. I don't know. Okay.
Maybe you should disconnect and reconnect too. I mean, everybody's doing
What in the world is going on? Okay, hold on.
And then there was one.
Am I better?
You're better. I see you. You're moving.
But now our whole thing is broken.
Now you're purple again. What did you just do?
No, I'm purple again. What is happening? What is happening? Am I fixed now?
Getting there.
Now that Sean's back, am I fixed?
Oh man, you guys switch places.
Do I need to disconnect and reconnect?
It'll make it easier, yeah. Try that.
Hold on a second.
All right, hold on.
Sorry I messed all that up. I forgot that I have to use a different system for this.
All right. Am I in the right spot now? Now Wes is frozen.
No, I'm not.
Shoot. Oh, no, you're not. You're just not moving. Okay.
You're frozen.
Who?
You.
Dang it.
Give me 2 seconds, I'll be right back.
All right, I'm going to restart Skype. I'll be right back.
Well, we're off to a fine start. Thanks for joining us tonight. Yeah, Brent, that one location looks like it's booked up solid. So maybe I have to find another one that's near there.
Why don't I see me?
I don't know.
Do you see me?
Negative.
Skype just updated, like right before I connected. Has it broken everything? Damn.
I guess. Maybe reselect your video source in settings? I don't know.
Microphone's working though.
And Sean just left.
Wow.
Got Sean back.
But now I have to exit, rejoin, so that we're in the right place.
Yep. Maybe your video will fix.
Let's see if we're back in business. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Stupid friggin' Mac.
Hey, it works. Nobody do anything.
You don't want me to disconnect and join back in?
No.
Afraid we're gonna start introducing some other problems if we keep playing musical chairs with this crap.
Yup.
But those watching right now, how's the audio sound? Because it never seems to come out that end, how it comes out in my ears.
Yep. Here's my voice. Hello.
Here's
name is
my
Wes.
voice. Oh, my name is talking over other people, apparently. Sorry.
Cool. All right, well, Bomb. No worries.
My son thought I needed this hat. Yeah. So cool.
It's still here from last week. And I got this.
There could be a segment every yeah. There could be a segment every week of like interesting things from around Wes's house.
Story time. Yeah, I got some interesting things.
I don't doubt it.
You doing okay, Sean, or something's wrong?
Yeah, something's wrong. The call recording didn't launch, and I'm trying to get it launched without having to quit out of this stupid thing again. Hold on, I have to quit out.
Okay. We'll be here.
The shirt is so cool. Yeah, Thanks, Brent. Yeah, I really like this one. It's pretty fun.
He's back.
Now you guys are in different spots again.
Where is it? Ah, you stupid piece of junk.
One day, we'll connect. We won't have any problems. It'll just run smooth. Oh, he's gone again. Did you see Jocko's new post?
I saw people posting about it, but I never went to it.
That was gonna be my geeking out. Cause I watched the video and I was like, wow, this is cool. This is cool. And then I saw how much it was and I'm like, no. That's crazy.
Donovan, can you drop out one more time?
Yes, I'll drop out one more time.
Thanks.
You drop out.
Allow me to tell you why you don't need
Donovan,
the
talk.
kinetic driver.
Am I in the right spot now?
It has a brass cylinder with a low CG. It creates a flywheel effect that feels like a superpower. But you don't need that.
Yo, baby.
The total weight is enough to produce the right pressure on the screw. So you don't have to. But you don't need that.
Hold on, I'm watching the video. I haven't watched it yet.
Are you talking about Jocko's thing?
It has a ceramic bearing in the head. It feels like it's just levitating between your
Really
fingers.
interesting topic.
You don't need
Talking about
that.
things that we.
The knurling pattern is carefully selected to feel that satisfactory grip on it. That means great
Yeah,
control.
Don't need.
But you
Speaking
don't
of
need
Jocko,
that.
like, it's funny. I
The
have this
case
thing
neatly
on me
holds
all
the
time.
kinetic driver
It's
and its
broken,
bits, but it's
I still
also a
carry it
smart
with me,
platform to
like,
I
all the
want
time.
to join this conversation. Just let me finish this.
Sorry.
I wasn't
organize
started. I
the
was just-
small parts you're working with. But you don't need that.
Yeah, that's a good
The
idea.
kinetic driver is thinner where it should be. It accommodates the fingers
Especially
that are
when
not
the cat
part of
was,
the action.
that new
Feels like the
product.
whole hand is resting. You don't need that.
So you've seen it?
You just can't stop playing with this thing. Go back to work. You definitely don't need that.
The real question will be when we start recording, finding out who's going to buy it. No, don't answer yet.
The passivation finishing process is a chemical
I wanna
treatment
see where it's
that
at
makes it
now. I know
virtually
where it was
immune to
at,
corrosion. But
like,
you
an
just
hour
don't
after.
need that.
Let's save it for the episode.
You don't need all that.
Wormwood.
You simply don't need
Designed
the
a
kinetic
modular gaming
driver.
table. Interesting. I follow them on YouTube. I mean, not on YouTube, but on Instagram.
But if you want a tool that eliminates the gap between your hands and your next creation, a tool that feels like an extension of your skin, well, in that case,
Okay, I'm done.
All right, let me know when you guys are ready.
Okay.
We good? All right. What's up, Internet? It is that time once again for the Making Geeks podcast, the podcast for makers, dads, and geeks. Episode 191. Before we get started with anything, we have a little announcement to make, and it's something that we don't want to put off any further. But Josh is no longer going to be a part of the podcast. Some of his personal priorities have changed, and he won't be a part of the show any longer. And it doesn't have anything to do with his relationship with us or the podcast. He has personal things to attend to that have just changed his priorities, and that's pretty much what we can say. But we wish him well.
Yep. Sorry.
Go ahead. I mean, this is all of us talking about it. So, yeah.
And if and when he decides if he wants to come back, we got a seat for him.
Yep. And we'll probably entertain that idea later on. But as of right now, that is the status of his relationship with the podcast. So that's pretty much it.
He's got to be here for 200, though. That's kind of a given, right?
I won't speak for him. I would love it if he is. We'll kind of put it out there into the universe right now that we want him here for the 200, and we'll hope for the best. I think that's kind of the best we could do at the time being.
Okay.
So.
Now on with the show.
Say it again, Wes.
Now on with the show.
So, how are you guys doing? It feels like we haven't talked as a complete group. We're complete as of the standing right now for a while. So, how's it going? Things going all right?
We missed you last week.
Yeah, I wanted to be there too, but I was just as enthralled editing the episode and listening to you two just geek out about Nintendo the entire time.
And Lego.
Well, and to be honest, I probably wouldn't have said much during the podcast anyways, because Nintendo, Wes is the resident expert on all that stuff, and while I'm a fan of Nintendo, I can't contribute the same way. So I may not have had as much of a contribution. Actually, probably no more contribution than I had the previous week when my audio didn't work right anyways, at least during the live show.
Yeah.
Trying to problem solve things as they're happening isn't the best way to run a show, so I just try to stay quiet more often than not. So.
Although I do have to admit that I didn't notice, most of the time I didn't notice the edits that you put in from that show.
Yeah, well, I re-recorded almost every line of dialogue that I said. It's a little bit awkward because the background noise doesn't really match the entirety of the recording, but it was much less distracting than it was in its original form.
Yeah. So last week was a fun episode. It was good to listen to Wes talk about all of his. But I mean, we said it before the show that we could have a little segment every week of interesting stuff from around Wes's house, because he just has cool stuff.
Wes does have cool stuff, and doing cool things too. That live stream video of the build was really, really cool.
Oh, thanks, man. I had a lot of fun with that.
Yep.
It makes me miss doing those. So I think I might try to spin that back up.
I didn't realize how long you had spent on the entirety of the thing until I listened to the episode, because all I saw was it was 3 or 4 minutes, the kind of like recap thing that you posted.
Yeah, not even.
I had no idea it took that long.
Yeah, I think it started and stopped over a 12-hour period. I think I had a few hours around dinner time for a break, and that's it.
Wow.
How many total viewers? What do they call them? Is it viewers? Did you have?
Oh, on the stream?
Yeah, on the stream.
One guy that runs a Lego related Twitch channel ended up rating my channel at the end. I think by the end it said like 150 over the course of the whole episode. 150 different people.
So not congruent, but like 150 total.
Yeah, I think he brought like around 50 at once, which was cool.
That's cool.
That's pretty. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's always a hard. That's part of my love-hate relationship with Twitch, is that it's like a whole new platform that you're having to like build up like an audience with than my small yet existing one on, let's say, YouTube. But there are certain features that Twitch offers as far as like engagement or hackability that I can sort of manipulate and do things with, like kind of do DIY, like interesting things with, like control a Nerf gun with the Twitch chat, or
that was fun.
other things I haven't yet really released yet that I've been messing with. And YouTube might have the capability of doing that, but there's just certain things that, from a functionality standpoint, YouTube is still yet to catch up with, I think, with Twitch. So it's still enough to keep me interested. But I have contemplated just doing straight YouTube. But I've also noticed that the audience for live stream, like the culture, is way better on Twitch from what I've seen. Like it's almost like a little bit toxic on YouTube because more random people will find it and fall in there and just post to be annoying than Twitch. From what I've noticed, like on Twitch, if someone follows you, there's a mechanism for that, and so a little thing pops up and it'll say their name, right? And so like, oh, George631 has followed me. Thanks a lot, George631. You know, and they almost get like a shout out. But YouTube, from the last I had checked, their live stream doesn't have a function like that. So people will be in the chat and they're like, hey, say my name. Like I've had several people do that. Or like, give me a shout out by my name or something. Like just because they're in the chat. Like that's literally what they're saying. And it's just weird and distracting and strange. It's just,
I didn't realize that like just anybody could join a live on YouTube. I've never done it, so I'm just assuming, but
it's just like a public YouTube video.
I think it's a broadcast.
It's just a broadcast. So if the algorithm decides to,
I don't think I've ever had like a live pop up in my Discover thing, or maybe it's a certain tab that I'm just missing.
I think it does populate it to your subscribers, but I think there is a certain portion of the algorithm that shows it to non-subscribers too. But I don't know. It's a little.
I mean, I did join Nicole and Turi's live stream yesterday, when they were doing the showing the process that they go through in making and designing out one of their maps. It was really cool to jump in on and just to see how they do it.
You know, Twitch does a lot of things better than YouTube in terms of community. Even when you're going in to find something to watch or something that's streaming, I like their categories better of looking for stuff instead of just this hodgepodge of everything that the YouTube algorithm thinks that you want to watch. A couple years ago, Twitch was really trying to build out their DIY branch of streaming. It's just that streaming something that you're doing in real life and not something just from a screen is a little bit more difficult and takes a lot more investment and planning on the streamer's part. I would love to get back to it too, but you almost have to have a dedicated space and permanent camera setup, saying, okay, here's my electronic station that I always show. And Wes, you had a pretty good thing going for a while where you always had a camera on your 3D printer. You had the overhead view of your thing, and then you had the Nerf gun going. But it's almost a job in and of itself. Here's my TV show that I'm doing live every day, and I have my 3-camera setup.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always felt like spinning a bunch of plates. Like every time I start that up, I'm like, okay, I got to do this thing over here. All right, that's spinning. Run over here. All right, I got to do this thing. All right, that's good. Got to check the battery status on this. All right, that's good. Oh no, I ran out of USB ports. Oh, I got to get it. It's just like.
And it really should be a 2-man show.
Yeah.
Or two-person show.
Producer
one actually doing the thing, and the other one managing OBS.
Yeah.
Like a television production.
Yep.
Yeah, lives in general are something that I would really like to do more of. Instagram Live is obviously the one that I've done the most, and by the most, I think the total is like 5. I think I've done like 5 Instagram Lives in my 3 years of making. But the lives are definitely something that I would enjoy doing more of, but don't know where to focus my energy. Twitch would be fun. I have an account on Twitch, and I've contemplated the possibility of doing lives on Twitch, but like you said, Wes, that's just another audience that you have to build up from nothing. And I don't know if Twitch is like a space for DIY makers, if there's a niche there anymore, like there was 2 years ago, even a year ago.
I honestly think that Twitch is a better choice and platform for us than Instagram. In Instagram,
Really?
yeah,
You can at
I
least
do.
monetize it.
And that's one of the reasons why. See, Instagram could be an immediate contender to YouTube tomorrow if they wanted, but all they have to do is start paying their creators. And they're so damn stingy because Facebook owns them. I'm assuming that it has to do with their company policies, that they're still getting everything for free. We're the dum-dums putting things on their platform and getting almost nothing from it right now. We're getting exposure, but that exposure is really hard to monetize. But at least with Twitch, they're willing to do a profit share. And, I think I'm more willing to work with a company that's willing to do that. It's just that Instagram is so easy that it's easy to post a picture and do something 2 seconds and put it up there, where Twitch takes a little bit more of a dedication and planning type of setup.
Yep.
Okay. That may change my views on that a little bit.
I mean, if you've been able to monetize Instagram through connections with companies or otherwise, and seeing that getting pushed out to your other platforms, then you could probably justify it. I know I can't.
No, that is something I've been thinking a lot about lately, just monetizing your content, especially with this project that I've got that I'm desperately trying to finish, so that I can put out, because I haven't put a video out in 4 months now. And by the time this video comes out, I want to have a system set up to be able to monetize as much as I can from that project, whether it's the plans, whether it's the shirts, everything like that. And so I've been looking into different avenues and baskets and whatnot, trying to figure out, okay, if I were to monetize on Instagram, how could I do that? And figuring they do products, doing the different print-on-demand services for some of the designs that I've come up with, T-shirts that people have liked and have asked for, making plans that I'm putting together for the, for the Playhouse, just everything I can. So I'm not relying solely on AdSense revenue, which is terrible. Sense, yeah.
AdSense. It's called that for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and things have, I don't know about your channels, but mine has taken a severe dive in the last 3 weeks. Just the views are down so far. I mean, not like I'm doing a whole lot to help support it, but things usually stay at a kind of a consistent rate. And it's about half that for me right now.
Huh.
I don't think there's enough actionable impact sometimes with YouTube. If you fall into the good graces of the algorithm, or you're able to put out enough content to keep the coffers filled or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of discussion and conversations with people in our maker community that have finally hit that 4,000 hour threshold. There's 2 people that just started monetizing their channel. Nicole's one of them. There's another guy that I follow that he just started monetizing their channel, and they're doing really good. I was like, wow, I wish I had your numbers. I'm not trying to be jealous. I mean, I'm totally happy the fact that they're doing well enough to do all this, but I just look at their numbers. I'm like, wow, I need to do so much better.
I get a feeling that there's some component of the algorithm that rotates like a certain, level of channels, like say like from
freshness.
Yeah, so from like 5,000 to 30,000, there's a rotation that happens, because if these become stagnant, then it gives these ones a shot. I mean, I have no idea if that's true, but it kind of seems like it happens sometimes.
Yeah, or it might be that thing where, in order to motivate people once they do get monetized to continue creating content, to further monetization, there's a preferential treatment. In terms of the numbers and the rates that go to newer channels than ones that have been monetized for a year, like I have. I don't know how that works. I just, wanted to take advantage as much as I can, and so I've been researching lately on how to do that.
So you brought up something interesting. I think this could be a good segue to what we wanted to talk about. Is looking at the things that we do and the components of what could possibly make up our income. So you have content creation, you have sponsored videos, but then you also have possible merchandising or products that you sell. I've done some shirts. I haven't really sold a whole lot. I've sold a few. Wes, I think you've sold a few as well.
Yeah, a while ago.
Yeah,
I've since stopped.
Are there products or things like type of merchandising or things that you would like to sell on a regular basis? I mean, Donovan, you have plans coming out. I mean, that could possibly be it. I know that business model is lucrative for some people, where they might sell $3,000 in plans a month.
Yeah, I want to go back and plans for all the projects that I've done in the past. I don't have time to do that, so it's probably not going to happen. But going forward, like every project that I have from this playhouse and beyond are all going to have plans. So hopefully, I'll have residual income from, plans to that. And like you said, yeah, one of the things that I've been doing lately is I've come up with a bunch of different T-shirt designs that are like pop culture and geek mashed with maker community. So like my Dovetail shirt that I had that I gave out to a couple people at Workbench Con.
Did you make that?
I've come up, yeah. And I came out with like 4 designs that I put on Instagram and says, hey, this is something I've been doing. What do you guys think? And a lot of people are like, hey, where can I buy that? And I'm like, nowhere. They're just pictures I made. But I've had enough people ask that I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to do this, let's try and do this. And so I've come up with about 20 designs for different geek maker mashup shirts from different IPs and properties that I've started an account on Redbubble, on Merch by Amazon, on Printful, on Printify, on, gosh, what is the other one? On my website.
Yeah.
Why,
my own
why so
personal
many
website.
different?
Just to have as many baskets to put eggs in, because not everybody is going to be able to find my stuff on just my website. And so if I have the same shirt that sells on Redbubble, on Printful, on Etsy, I also put some on my Etsy store.
You should do Teespring since it interacts with YouTube as well.
Teespring was the other one. Yeah, that's the other one.
I've sold several through Teespring.
Yeah. And so I've opened up 6 print-on-demand shops for all of these designs that I'm coming out with. Not that anybody knows. Nobody can knows where to find them or anything like that. That's another thing with this. Well, eventually I'll get there. It's a process.
Don't you get a higher revenue for the more that you sell, or is that vary per platform? Aren't you also spreading your possible revenue out thinner?
Yeah, you definitely are.
So it's bad what I'm doing? Is that what you're saying?
You're kind of watering down your own content.
Well, it's not my thought process was not wanting to water down my content. My thought process was because I was just going to have it on my website, and the only place to link to my website would be on my YouTube videos and on Instagram. And so only people that have
social media on the podcast.
No, I know.
Do.
But I'm like, if I put it on that and I put it on something like Etsy, well, now people who are on Etsy who don't know me or don't follow me on social media would still be able to find it. Well, Etsy is super saturated. It's really hard to sell anything like maker related or woodworking related or 3D printing related because there's so many already established people that sell generic.
Which would, make me want to ask the question, why do you even bother with Etsy then?
Well, because I'm going to sell plans on Etsy.
Why?
Because it's another basket to put eggs in. My thought was if I branch out and put my designs out there, people who exclusively try to find products on Redbubble would be able to find my stuff, as well as people that are exclusive to Etsy, as well as the people that are exclusive to Teespring, and Teespring links to YouTube. So now I can put my merchandise below every video, and my Ninjago stuff is still doing really well. And if I could put a little thing at the bottom of every video from here on out that says, hey, I have merchandise, now people have that avenue to be able to find something. And so my thought process, at least, was that if I diversify in my possible revenue streams, that might help overall. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, all that kind of stuff, and bringing in some sort of income.
I think,
like I said, other than relying on AdSense.
I think you made things far more convoluted for yourself than they really should be, because you gave yourself all these different things to manage and look at, instead of trying to maybe pick 2 or 3 and focus only on those and the promotion of those. I mean, if you've already done the work, you've already done the work, and you can monitor that over the next 3 months and see which ones get the most traffic, and maybe cut out the ones that don't.
Yeah, so that was my other thought process too, was exactly that. It's like, see what works and what doesn't.
I mean, if you have your website as the sole, let's say theoretically it could be the sole outlet for your shirts, right? Not only would you get revenue from people that follow your links on however they find them, like on your Instagram or whatever, like, or your YouTube like description, it would go to onceuponaworkbench.com or whatever, and then you would get the sales from those possible people. And if you had a couple strips for AdSense, you would get eyes on more Google AdSense on your website as well, because you could put it on the top or on the side or something. Nothing too obnoxious, but you almost get like you're doubling your possible revenue streams.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Your own website has the best potential for generating revenue than anything else right now. Whether it is posting your YouTube videos there and driving traffic there, for AdSense, for selling merchandise.
You could add like some exclusivity,
and you have control.
Where you could say, this is the shirt of the week, or you have 24 hours for this design. Add some sort of like rush, to it. Some sort of sense of urgency. I know a lot of those websites that have, like, I think Ripped Apparel does them sometimes, where it's like 24 hours, this design will be gone, or it'll increase in price, it'll like double or something like that, just to incentivize people to, oh yeah, I actually do want that. I don't know, maybe that. Yeah. I think your Instagram following is such that I think you have enough loyal followers where there's your eyes right there, like a good segment of them.
Yeah, so like, the only place you can really link at Instagram, unless you have a lot more followers, is that profile thing. That profile link should never change. It should always be your website. They go to your website, and then whatever that first thing is, maybe it's your video, maybe it's apparel, whatever it is that you're pushing, and direct specifically to that page on your website. You probably have a more consistent Instagram presence than anywhere else, minus YouTube. But why profit share with anybody else when you can maintain control?
Which, I mean, the majority of what I want to do will be through the website, like offering like you were saying, like discounts or flash sales or something like that. I would want to do for my website so that people buy through my website. But that's something else I'm working on, is trying to like build a website, which takes time, and lately time is something I've had very little of. So it's a slow process. It is a lot of upfront work, like a lot of upfront work.
Yep.
That'll hopefully pay off in the end. But Sean, when you used to do shirts, was it just solely through Teespring?
How did I do it? I'm doing it through Teespring now. But before, I have a t-shirt printer here where I know the owner of the shop, where I was having him do the shirts. But I since kind of gave that up and just, I do on demand. And I like Teespring's setup in their interface. Their prices are a tad bit high, but you get to set your profit margin, which I like. and it's really easy to, like, if I have an idea for a shirt, I could just post a graphic, put it up there, and if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I like that. It's kind of what I've been looking for a long time without actually having to create the shirts ahead of time. And there's so much competition out there that, you know, those margins I think are getting smaller. So it doesn't, in a lot of cases, it doesn't pay to overcharge for a shirt. You know, I might only make $3 a shirt, but I'm not selling shirts to make money.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't going to do Teespring originally. I like Printful because I've used them in the past to print shirts for myself and my family whenever we had Maker Faire or any kind of an event. I would print shirts for us, and I used Printful, and I like Printful, but they are the most expensive of all the shops in terms of the price of the product. So the profit margins on Printful are the lowest, but Printful integrates through Etsy, which is why I set up a storefront on Printful. And I wasn't going to do Teespring, but YouTube only integrates print on demand through Teespring. So I'm like, okay, well, I have to do Teespring. But I like, like you were saying, the profit margins on Teespring are a lot better. They're not great, but they're a lot better than, you know, going through like Printful or Redbubble or anything else like that. That, and with Teespring, I've noticed is you can do like other products. You can do shower curtains or blankets or pillows or.
And you have to ask yourself the question of, like, you know, well, why am I doing this? Am I doing this because I want to sell shirts, or is it for the purpose of spreading brand awareness?
It's both, at least for me, because it's like me as a person and personality. Like I really like geeky shirts. Like it's who I am. Like all my shirts are like geeky shirts.
But
so
it's almost two separate businesses though that you're looking at and considering. You know, one is a t-shirt business, the other is content creator. And yeah. I know that in your head you probably want to marry the two, but they're separate businesses.
No, I understand. But it's like if one can help support the other, then I think it's worth all of the upfront work to do all the design work and the setup, so that, I mean, all the videos I've watched on YouTube lately on this topic all call it like passive income or, you know, or stuff like that, which it really isn't, but it's residual. And so that's my hope, is that I want to be able to afford to keep making things. Yeah, because I keep doing bigger and bigger stuff that I can't afford to keep doing if I want to keep making YouTube videos and making content.
The problem is you have to think about how many shirts would you actually have to sell for it to really make a difference. It's not a really good, you know, unless you're doing just shirts full time, it's not a business I would want to be in with the sole focus of making a significant amount of money doing that.
Yeah.
It's almost a commodity right now.
No, which you're right, like it is, but it's for right now. I mean, for me at this moment, it seems to be the easiest setup to at least bring in something, so that it can help fund the startup of something else down the road.
I think your plans have a better profit margin potentially.
Yeah. That's so much more work, though.
It is. You know, I think that it could be a really lucrative business for somebody. And I don't know, maybe there's already somebody like this that would go around the maker community and saying, you know what, I'll make plans of that project for you. You know, and do it for like several different makers. And then, you know, either take a royalty on each one made, or a flat fee of, okay, $100 to make the plans for you. However many you sell, it doesn't matter. Or maybe depending on the size of the project.
That would probably be a good business model.
It would. I'm not doing it.
I mean, I don't. I'm not in the position right now to be able to do it myself. And if somebody was there to help, yeah, that'd be great. Because at least it's something.
Yeah, it'd be a good business within the DIY community.
Yeah.
So anybody listening out there, if you want to make a quick buck, maybe that'd be a cool service to offer. And yeah, I think there's a lot of people that would readily take you up on that. So,
yep.
Speaking of Speaking of products, though, before we started recording, we were talking about was it just released today, the video, or was it yesterday?
Let me
I think it was yesterday. Anyways, Jocko from Jocko Whatever released a new Kickstarter video. Most people probably know him for his YouTube channel, but also for the release of the Maker Knife that came out last year, I think, and it was really successful. I have one. Donovan has one.
Mm-hmm.
Wes, did you buy one?
I did not.
Yeah. And that was a pretty big success. And he released his video yesterday for his new Kickstarter for his new project or product, which is a screwdriver. I don't know if this gets filed under things you didn't know you wanted or things you want you don't need. I don't know how to classify it.
I do really like the fact that in his video, it says over and over, "You don't need this."
Yeah.
I was like, that's very true. Yes, I don't need this. So you want to explain like what makes it a cool screwdriver?
If I wanted to be kind of flippant about it, I would probably just call it an artisan screwdriver. But I think it's a little bit more than that. I think it is a beautifully machined, small scale screwdriver that has a weight in the middle that acts as kind of he calls it a flywheel, that gives it enough momentum when you spin it that you almost have to only give it one turn for it to either turn enough to tighten or loosen. Ideally, that seems to be the premise that's shown in the video. But that's just kind of like my perception, and I don't know entirely what to think of it or to think about it. I'm not tempted to buy it because I need it. It would almost be an impulse purchase. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I'm kind of looking for feedback from the two of you.
I mean, without playing with it, it's hard to really get a grasp on the intricacies of what are the use cases and what are the fringe cases of how it could not work well. Would it have more of a tendency to strip a screw? Is that a function of if you use crappy screws, you can't really hone in? If you're using a powered screwdriver, you've got an analog intensity of how hard you want it to spin, right? Well, this one's, once you get the flywheel going, it's either on or off, right? You can't really.
And that has to do with more if you're tightening it.
Yeah.
Because once the screw stops spinning, and the momentum of the screwdriver keeps going, what is it going to do to the?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
That's a good point. I did not even think about that.
I didn't think about that.
Either would the least common denominator would either be a crappy screw, or the bits, whatever the bits are made out of.
Yep.
Would that destroy itself? And granted, there's sort of a common bit you could probably drop in there, but I don't know.
It would have almost been cool, if there's a built-in torque, where once it hits that torque, you hear a click, 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 click.
Right, like a ratchet.
Yeah.
Impact driver.
Right. Yeah, impact driver. Yeah, it's interesting, and clearly people.
I want to hold it just to feel the weight of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's only been live for a day, and it's got
$137,000.
$137,000.
And I think he was only trying to get $40,000 to fund it, something like that.
Well, the goal
$5,000.
is $6,000. Yeah, $5,900.
Oh.
I mean, good on him.
Yeah.
We're interested, and he's also built up his own sort of brand in a way, kind of like Tony Rouleau could easily do this, with the stuff.
I was just going to bring him up. I want to see them go head to head.
Yeah, I think he's got nothing on Tony. It's a different. It's almost like a different market. One's like an artisan tool, and another one is sort of like a boutique-ish. Well, I guess they're both kind of like that, but there's something different about his stuff. They're clever, with the way that they work. They have a mechanical spin to them, and they're cleanly designed. Like he likes the product design aspect of it, where they can look a little more modern with the approach of how things work, whereas Tony are more traditional. It's still artisan. It's like handcrafted, smooth.
I'd say more like a heirloom.
An heirloom. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. It's an heirloom versus what's the other one?
Apple Store.
Trinket. Yeah, it's almost like the Apple Store approach to tools, right?
You could almost imagine like Johnny Ives, like, this is the screwdriver you've been waiting your whole life for.
And he used this sort
machine
of
precision
for the video. It was kind of interesting. He used a similar approach. Like he introduced a negative into the video, in that like the other one's like, this is not a can opener, or this is not a bottle opener, this is not a bottle opener, this is not a bottle opener. And he sort of used the same sort of shtick for this.
It felt more forced.
Oh, it's definitely like almost a parody of himself in a way, or of itself. It's sort of self-referential and over the top on purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, they used a robotic arm in the video. I mean, it's beautifully shot, like all of his stuff is, and it's interesting. It's not for me, but
no, especially. I mean, I don't think the price is that outrageous, but it's definitely not in my price range for what it is.
It also has like a fidget spinner quality to it too, since it's using a bearing.
I saw that too. When I was looking at it, the only time I could imagine using it would be with like electronics. Is that kind of your feeling too? I mean,
like
it's not
kit
something I'm
bashing, like small, yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be something I use out in the shop when I'm putting together a bench.
Yeah, would you use it under a car, like you're working? You know. I don't know.
You know, I can imagine like a whole tool set. They release like, here's a screwdriver, next is the hammer. You never know you wanted this hammer. Does it hammer nails? No.
I mean, he has a knife and a screwdriver. I mean, a hammer is next, right?
Yeah. And then you're going to find out later on that they assemble like Voltron.
Or some sort of, like, he's got some sort of level that uses like a novel, like, approach for
It's a hydrogen bubble. I have no idea what I'm talking about. It's interesting, and I love seeing inventiveness in certain spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I don't think I ever would have considered, because I never think about tools in an innovative way, because there's a screwdriver, I know how to use a screwdriver, and I kind of move on. I don't think of tools as being the desired product in the same way. It's more about what I'm making with them, but I think about more.
Yeah. When I saw it, I definitely had a sharper image vibe, where I love looking at sharper image catalogs, because I'm like, that is cool. That is sleek. That is way too expensive. Like, it's that same vibe of like, wow, that's really cool. It's not practical, but it looks so cool.
It's a Sky Mall of maker tools.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That hurts a little bit.
Which is, I mean, it's not to say it's bad. There is obviously a market for it. But I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's hard for me because it's something really cool that we don't need. And I would love to have something really cool that as a maker community, we do need.
You know, we were starting to talk about products before, and we kind of started talking about like basic stuff like plans and t-shirts. But I love seeing the arc that basically all the makers have been on for the last 4 to 5 years, where so many people start out as content creators, you get a following, and then you start making and producing something that has value to other people, and it more than a shirt or more than something just with your logo on it. You know, with Jocko, you have the maker knife, and now you have this screwdriver coming out. You have some people that are creating digital content courses, which are great because that's like the education side. But I always like seeing what like Jimmy DiResta puts out, you know, because I think he's putting out products, but he's also doing it like in a different direction, like the ice pick. You know, I still kind of want one of those in a way. I never bought one, but I bought other products from him. And I love seeing the innovation from people that make, and not just saying, here's a drawing I thought of, I'm going to have somebody else go produce it in a factory somewhere else. You know, I love that we're part of a community that seems like it's making an impact somewhat without having to go through like, old distribution channels. So the question I posed before we started recording, and I'm wondering if there's anything that's come to mind. Is there something or a product that you think would be cool to produce or have?
Oh man, I really want to make a product that's like an EDC product, an everyday carry product, but something that is useful. I like this. I didn't buy it. The only reason why I have one is because Clint gifted me with one. This is the Maker knife. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, this is the Maker knife. Mine is broken because the design of the handle wasn't very good. But I still really like it. And I carry it with me all the time because it is super functional for a myriad of things. And so if I were to design a product, I would want something like that. But it's hard thinking of like, when you're not in the moment, it's hard thinking of moments where you're like, what do I need in this? Like, how can this be more convenient? Or how can this be better? One thing, I hate tape measures. Hate tape measures. I think they're all terrible. I would love to be able to have a better tape measure, but I don't know how to design a better one. I hate 3D printers and laser cutters because I am terrible with them. I would love to be able to design like a 3D printer that has the least amount of points of failure, or like Maker tools that have the least amount of points of failure so that they work. Like you get them and they work. Because that's a big thing for me, because my stuff doesn't work. So I would love to be able to do that one day. One day. That being said, Daniel D'Arco. If you guys don't know Daniel D'Arco or haven't followed him, he is building a CNC, and it looks amazing. Like he's an engineer and he's a maker. And so he is engineering like every part of this CNC to be the best CNC he has ever seen, because he's the one making it. And it looks phenomenal. Super expensive, but but phenomenal nonetheless.
I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, honestly. That I don't plan on divulging in a future video. And it's not necessarily products to sell, it's just I mean, like the Minecraft sign, I didn't know that was a thing that I might need until I made it. Like it's functional, it's useful, it could be used in other applications, like that concept of being able to like tie in like an Internet of Things sign that tells you additional information based on a service. I mean, it could be anything that drives it. I don't know. My first thought was a big wheel. I don't know why it popped in my head, but I was thinking a big wheel like for an adults.
Adult, yeah.
Or a pogo ball, or I don't know. I don't really have a lot of thoughts on this matter.
And it's something that, and I know that like a short time period, to come up with something, and it's not always easy. And even when I posed the question, I wasn't even entirely sure how I was going to answer. The one thing that I struggle with and continue to struggle with is electronics. I got contacted by a company recently, again, that's going to send me out something they want me to make a video using, and it's all electronic components. It's with Arduino and stuff. And I have an idea of what I want to do, and I'll probably be able to figure it out. But I hate the process of mocking up a breadboard and doing those sort of things. I wish there was a better way to prototype than using a breadboard. And I know that I'm pretty sure that there's like digital tools and stuff you can use, but it still seems awkward. And, I guess I guess it comes down to me being lazy and not wanting to put the time to learn it properly, because there's so many other things I want to do. I don't want to spend time just on this one thing for a month to figure out how to do this little sign that I need to do. So I'll just.
We're honest here.
Well, yeah. I mean, why not? It just. I like products that help people get to their end result faster. So we might have to come back to this another time, because now I'm going to have to think about it.
We definitely have to come back to this another time. Products that help you get to the end result faster. That concept in and of itself is awesome, but needs forethought.
I mean, because there's the idea of something that you wish existed because it would help you. Go ahead, Wes.
I've got one. So imagine you had a dishwasher that was integrated with your kitchen cabinet that has all your plates and your cups and everything. So you load the plates in there and stack them in such a way, maybe vertically, I don't know. And so basically the whole cabinet, when you shut it, you may have to turn a knob or something. That is the dishwasher. So it might wash all the plates, but it also washes all the dirty ones you just put in there beside the clean ones. So then when you open it, they're all clean when it's done. Then you save space. You don't have a dishwasher under the counter somewhere. It's sort of all in one thing. I don't know. I've had that idea for a long time. I don't know how practical it is. It's probably not very useful, and I don't know, it probably wastes a lot of water or something. I don't know. But I think there's maybe an idea in there somewhere. Because I hate having to load the dishes in a thing and then take them out of the thing and put them back in the storage thing. Why can't the storage thing be the place they get cleaned anyway?
Have you ever worked in a restaurant kitchen or an industrial type kitchen?
With the sprayers?
Well, there's that, but
yeah.
My first job was working for Chuck E. Cheese, and the way that we did the dishes was you have basically a big steel
tray
platform, and you have a plastic tray all the things are loaded on, and you push it in, you pull down
right
basically these two double doors that go down, pretty much, and just hot water and pressure. Within a minute, everything's clean, and you pull it out like a conveyor.
Yeah.
So the idea that you could do that built into cabinets or a certain set of cabinets, I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility, especially if you implement some of the steam technology used for washing machines right now. I don't see why not.
Or what if you had a Roomba? Maybe this already exists. A Roomba for a shower, because we have stand-up shower that has glass windows or walls or whatever, and I can think of a vertical Roomba basically. So maybe it's it crawls up in it, it's like the scrubbing bubbles, the damn scrubbing bubbles. If those things were real, make it a digital robotic version of the damn scrubbing bubbles. It's such a tease. Open this can, all these things come out and scrub everything.
A bunch of little BB-8s.
It's like batteries not included. You know? Yeah, little BB-8s that drive up and down vertically. Maybe they're like a gecko or something that has scrubby things on its belly. I don't know, but
or maybe a big part of it is creating a specific dinnerware set that works in tandem with the dishwasher, where nothing really essentially sticks once a certain amount of heat's been applied,
right?
And everything kind of falls off, and then you steam it to sterilize it.
Your plates have Rain-X on them.
Yeah.
you just mount them to your car and go for a drive and come back and they're clean.
Never wet.
Yeah.
Never wet. You could take the Willy Wonka approach and just make everything edible, so you don't have to worry about cleaning it ever. You just eat it.
Eat your plate. I don't want it to go to waste.
If you don't finish everything on and with your plate, oh, that's yeah.
What? We're just eating our plates tonight? Come on. Starving kids in Africa don't have dinnerware to eat.
Right. They would love to have dishes like this. We'll ship them up and send them to them.
Oh, that'd be a fun skit. Yeah.
I have yet to pull that phrase on my kids. There were starving kids in Africa that would love to eat this. Right, I've yet to do that.
Before I eat it.
Yeah. Huh.
Well, are we at that point where we should say?
I think coming back to the product idea could be fun.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. Everybody's audio still good? Everybody kind of froze for a second.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm geeking out about a lot of things, but I'll kind of bring up what happened last week. I was supposed to go up to Vegas to visit my parents, but given everything going on and the social climate of everything, and the fact that my mom works at the CDC, and having exposure may not be a good idea, we decided not to go to Vegas and visit them. So instead, my family and I took a road trip down Route 66. Part of Route 66 starts, or a good portion of it starts like about a mile away from my house. So we took it about 60, 70 miles east, and just saw a lot of things we haven't seen before. Made a lot of stops and visits. If anybody follows my Instagram, I probably did like 30 or 40 stories that day about the different stops, and it was a lot of fun with the family, and opened up a lot of good conversation for talking about development of areas and how things have changed over time. And we ended up in Calico Ghost Town, which is 50 or 60 miles from my house. That was really fun, and getting the kids to kind of pay attention to the highways and how things used to run, and I don't know, it was a lot of fun.
It looked like fun.
It was, and my wife, a lot of times in the cars, my kids, especially a long trip, they'll just want to play like a DS or something, or not pay attention. So my wife bribed them and said that we'd give them a nickel for every Route 66 sign they saw on the way. And so they found enough to generate like $30. But then they owed us $20 for something else, so they got to pay back their debt too.
That's funny.
Yeah. How about you guys?
I was gonna say the screwdriver, until I saw the price, and then I'm like,
I don't think $80 is that outrageous, though.
It's not. Well, it's 80 euros. It's $110.
No, I thought it was 80 US. It was something else.
75 euros. $90
Really?
US. Yeah.
90. Okay, 90 US.
Okay, your conversion rates are different than mine. Mine says $109 US.
Weird.
Interesting. Anyways, I'm geeking out because I found out that Tron 3 is in production. And as much flack as that series gets, I really liked the first one when I was a kid, and I really liked Legacy, simply because of the design of the suits and the lights and the set design, everything like that. I love that movie.
And the Olivia Wilde scene where she's on the couch, right?
Classic. One of the best.
Yeah, it's like the slowest slow motion pan Disney's ever done on one person.
Yeah,
well, we know what Wes watches.
Yeah, like you can't tell from like the quality of my videos, but like lighting is something that I am obsessed with, in terms of filmmaking, and I always want to get better at because I feel like I'm terrible at. So like lights and lighting has always fascinated me, especially like EL lights. I think that those are so cool, and that movie was just an eye explosion of cool lights and stuff. Like plot aside.
No, it was cool. Yeah, it was cool.
It was,
I like that
it was cool.
I mean,
and
it's
I'm
cool enough
excited
for them to make a new ride, right? They're making a ride in Disney World based on it. Granted, it's like a reproduction of one in China, but there's a Tron light cycle ride that is currently on the way. So
I want a VR light cycle game. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So I'm skeptically hopeful. Especially since Jay Leto's going to be the lead in it.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. What did I say?
You almost said like Jay Leno. But
no,
you said
Jared
Jay Leto.
You knew who I meant.
Look at this car.
Which, I don't know. I'm hopeful, skeptical. Might be cool, might not. We'll have to find out, but it's going to happen, which is I'm kind of geeking out about.
He's going to work in the Joker laugh.
there's going to be some sort of intertextual moments in that show, I'm sure.
Let's see. What am I geeking out about? Can't geek out about Lego stuff. Can't geek out about Nintendo stuff. Well, there's not really any new shows. I don't really have much. It was a low geek out week this week. I'm looking forward to the fall. Geeking out about that prospect. I'm not geeking out about kids going back to school 100% virtual, but it also could be opportunity for us too, because I think we're trying to take that as a way to do more things that we wouldn't normally be able to do, because it's so easy to get like trapped down and just like, ugh, it's you know how much is going to suck because it's so out of the ordinary, right? But if we have good internet, Catherine's working from home, or she's working virtually, right? Then maybe we don't have to be like attached to the house. We can actually like go out. Granted, we can't visit a lot of people. Maybe visit them at a social distance, kind of acceptable limit there. But maybe we could take a camper and go to different parks and stuff, as long as we have enough internet for her to jump online and do her work, and for the kids to do their work. We're not like physically attached somewhere, so maybe that's actually an opportunity to do something more memorable in a positive light than a negative light, which is so easy to spin it. You know, from the kids' perspective, this is their part of their childhood. This is a significant portion of it. I mean, I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about memorable. That. Yeah. So I'm trying to geek out about that and try to think of something cool.
I'll have to talk to you guys separately about some things that I know about how some permanent changes to education coming based on some of this. Yeah. All right. Well, it's that time in the show where I talk about our websites, MakingGeeks.com, and how you can contact us directly through that site. We get all those messages and we reply to all the ones we get from all of you wonderful listeners. And on the homepage of the site, you can see all our past 191 episodes right there. Make sure you take a look at all the past guests we've had. We've had some fantastic guests on the show. Right there, MakingGeeks.com.
This is the part where I talk about our social medias, because we are involved in social media, and you should come check us out. Sean can be found at Geek Builders. Wes is found at Geeksmithing. I'm found at Once Upon a Workbench.
And we'll take this opportunity to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/MakingGeeks. With their financial contributions each and every time we post an episode, it helps keep us on the air and running, and we definitely appreciate it. We like to take a moment to thank our top patrons. Jordan Rimple, thanks a lot, buddy. We appreciate you. Square Splinter, thanks, man. And Clinton. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And we'll also like to shout out to the people in our audience for when we're doing a live stream. Thank you guys for checking us out. If you want to be part of the audience, be part of the conversation, we would love to have you. Just check out our YouTube channel under Making Geeks.
Well, we
and
appreciate
this part
everybody.
We need to recast.
I think we can kind of work together on it. I think Wes already gave a pretty good intro to it, but we thank everybody for listening. We have new episodes coming out. You get to pretty much depend on them being out every Saturday. Record on Thursday nights at our various time zones if you want to join on the live chat and kind of see the video feed directly as we're recording. But from all of us to all of you, have a fantastic week.
See you guys.